How about that snazzy, jazzy intro created for us by our creative genius, Mario Badia? Hello, everybody, and welcome. This is the big moment. Well, it's big for us, and I know it's big for a lot of you out there. So excited to see so many people making a lot of noise in the chat, watching live on YouTube. This is the unveiling of the winners of the Open Education Awards for Excellence. And so I'm so glad to be here. I'm Alan Levine, and I'm coming to you from on the map in central Canada. But just want to say that I am a settler here on Treaty 4 territory, which is traditional lands of the Cree and the Saulteaux, the Lakota, Nakota, and Dakota people and the Métis Nation. And just we hope, it's been really good to see so many people taking this time around the globe to acknowledge the people and the cultures that are in the places we are now. So just think about this in your own context. With that, I just want to have a little bit of conversation with my colleagues, and then we're going to get to introduce you to some faces you see on the screen here. But first, my colleague, Marcela Morales, who's interim co-director of OEGlobal, doing many things now. But Marcela, you've been here from the beginning of the awards. And so what's it like to see it now at this point?
Well, first of all, it's amazing to be here again every year celebrating the work of the community. It doesn't get tiring. On the totally the opposite. We're so excited that every year we get the opportunity to celebrate the work of the community. And we can see through the categories of the award how much the community has been evolving, as you know perfectly well, now being part of this process of how the categories have been increasing and evolving to reflect the work that we're doing. So we're always so excited to be here celebrating the awards. And here we are, one more year, Ala. Super excited.
All right. And I just want to also ask, because she's our important colleague, Perrine de Coëtlogon, who is our board of directors, our president of our board of directors, and really a key part of many things we do at OEGlobal. And so, Perrine, how are you feeling at this award moment?
I love the awards because I feel very humble and very proud together. Very humble that every one of us is trying the most he or she can to make open education global a reality to many people. And then very humble because I see that despite I've done a lot, I am the president of the board of Open Education Global, and it makes me feel so proud to see people who are beyond what I did, and they're moving mountains. So I love these awards. I love every kind of award. I was so happy to read some of them and participate to the process too. So really congratulations to all, and also to those who may not have the awards this year, but do a tremendous work. Thank you all.
Well, and thank you so much. And just want to say to start out, that is the wrong tab, Alan. So let's get this set up. Just to let you know, as part of the process, this began in May with the call for nominations, and we saw over 120 nominations come in, and that was sent in from many countries around the world. And so an important aspect, as Perrine was saying, is that we list every person and project that was nominated. We think this is important to do, not just to leave them on the floor of what gets narrowed down. But what happens next is we have our committee members. A few of them are here. These are previous award winners who volunteer to help review the awards and narrow those nominations down to what we call our shortlist, which we announced just earlier this month. And there's so many here that I almost can't scroll through them, but you can find them yourselves. But the whole key here is that we really want to be showing as much as possible. And I have to say, there's this correlation between the winners and the nominations. Okay, so the nominations really wouldn't make this possible. And I think we'll hear from other people here that really one of the greatest things happens is so much and so many people and projects get surfaced that we may not even know about. And so the recognition part, getting the award is nice, right? like Apurva, like when you got the award, it was really nice to get. It means a lot. Like we want recognition. But I have to tell you, it's actually feels better to give recognition to someone else. And that's what's shown through this process. So we're here. We want to get to the awards. Obviously, they didn't really come here to listen to Alan blabber on and on. But first, we just want to let the people here in the studio introduce themselves, who are mainly they agreed to join just to be here at this time. I sent out an email and most of them responded in 5 or 10 minutes. So I just want to call on them to say hello. We've met Perrine and Marcela. Apurva, you were previous award winner for a support specialist from Rebus Foundation. Tell us about getting an award and what you're doing now.
Well, hi, everybody. And I have to say, I shared my award with Amy Hoffer from Open Oregon. So it was extra special to not just win an award, but to share it with someone as wonderful as Amy. It has just been, as Alan said, a lovely way to celebrate some of the hard work that we all do every day in our roles, whether it's full-time working in open education or just off the side of our desks. Since then, I won my award in 2020, and the world saw many shifts in the years that followed. But I'm excited to say that I'm still with the Rebus Foundation as the executive director, and we actually have a new strategic plan coming out in the next few weeks. I've also had the pleasure of reviewing nominations for the 2021 OEGlobal Awards and even submitting nominations for this year. So happy to be here and to celebrate a lot of wonderful people and projects.
Oh, so great to have you here. And so thank you very much for joining us. And I'm going to flip over to Peterborough, Canada, relatively close to where Apurva is. It's in the same country. Hello, Terry. You've been part of several awards. And so tell us what this moment means for you right now.
I totally agree. It's like I've got an award in the past. It's really fun to get them, but also really fun to nominate and help reveal and help review so many amazing projects. And yeah, it's great both ways. Love it.
Excellent. And just so everybody's clear, like Marcela and I and the OEGlobal team, we have no say in this. We get the nominations, the review committee narrows them down, and the board helps us make the final selection. So it's just, we get to observe the process, which is wonderful. And I'm hoping that Yasser is here. Can you hear us, Yasser? Yasser Atef is our most recent award winner from American University in Cairo, who won the student award last year. And Yasser was so excited about the award, he decided to be on the review committee this year. So hello, Yasser. How are you today?
Thank you so much, Alan. It's I'm so touched and moved because like last year I was like listening to the award to this event on my phone, and I just remember the day, and I just, wow, this year is just getting to the studio and meeting these incredible, wonderful people. It feels so wonderful, and it's one of the interesting experiences I even can't like describe with the proper words, but I just want to say that I just got the student award in 2021, and it was one of the best experiences to feel like I'm getting something that signifies social justice and openness and innovation and creativity and recognition for the students' efforts that we get to see every year, and not only from Egypt where I'm based, but from every part of the world. So I'm so happy to be here.
Most excellent. And like, there's so much to be impressed with Yasser as his commitment to social justice and activism. He's involved with many projects. He was part of our review committee. I have to let you know that Yasser can't see the screen. And so he did his review process and used our online nomination system. And we may have a conversation later, Yasser, because I really want to highlight what it takes to operate online. We take internet connectivity for granted, but it's easy to take vision for granted. So I really respect the work that you do. And just in time, it's great to see Alexandra Okada from the UK, who is in the studio.
Hello, everyone. It's a great pleasure to be here. I'm so happy because it is amazing, I would say, opportunity to recognize very special open education practices. So very happy for participating with you.
Oh, and thank you so much. And Alexandra has been part of several award-winning projects over the years and has been a continuing member of our review committee. And we really appreciate that participation. Okay, what happens here? Okay, this is the big part. So what you're seeing now is I'm going to go over to my webpage here. And this is the page we create every year that will list the winners in each group. And so right now, of course, we have the four major categories. We're going to reveal them in a group. But right now, let's see. Let me just take a peek here, make sure. Yeah, okay. So right now, these are all mysteries. So we're going to engage our little machine of high technology significance here. And my colleague, Mario, again, like he's not only got the great artistry, but we're going to have to get those words prepared. And Mario will let us know when all the technology has done its thing. It's very complex. Like you think artificial intelligence and large language models are complex with all their vectors and whatnot. But getting the final awards page, help me people on screen, help me fill the banter time while we get this ready. But basically, we're going to update this web page in real time. And so we're getting the signal that all the circuitry has worked. And right now, we will get to see, hopefully, that the awards, we're going to see them right now. And so we get a chance to congratulate them. We'll get the link in the chat if you can help me with that, Mary. So first of all, Perrine, these first two awards come directly from the board. Do you want to say a few comments about these two first awards for Martin Weller and Lisa Young?
Yes, of course. Martin Weller, when I first met him, I was a nobody in this world, and he reached out immediately and invited me to the next meeting in Milton Keynes. I took my Eurostar and met amazing people, and it was really the beginning of a new connection and linking the francophones to the anglophone and Europe, and it was wonderful. So thank you so much, Martin. I know it's a lifetime achievement, and you have made for me very little in comparison of everything you have done, but this is really a sense of sharing that is amazing with you. Thank you very much. And I'm very proud to give you this Lifetime Achievement Award.
Excellent. Thank you. And the board has also given its President's Award, which it recognizes people who are significantly important to the conversation. And Lisa Young, who's been, well, I've known Lisa forever, and I'm not going to go down that path, but we've been colleagues for a long time. And I'm just so proud of how she has advanced in her career and become such an active proponent for OER. And she has been a key member of the CCC OER and also serving as vice president on the board of directors. So
yes, exactly. So I've been elected a year ago, and Liza could, at that point, she accepted to. She didn't want to go for presidency, but she was so dedicated to what she was doing for her own reason. She accepted to stay as a vice president, and she has helped me so much. I want to thank her for all the boards, for all the board members, all the directors. She has made a tremendous work internally, and this is something that people don't see. But I can tell you, even this non-profit organization requires a lot of work. So thank you, Lisa, for that too. And this is why I'm very happy to give Lisa a President's Award.
Most excellent. And so we're going to move on to the Catalyst Award, which is kind of what we renamed the word that Apurva got. It used to be support specialist, and we felt like it should be a bit broader. So we really want to recognize Melody Chin from the Singapore Management University. She's active. She's a librarian, which we know is so significant in OER. And then also sharing the Catalyst Award, another good Canadian colleague, Kim Carter at Conestoga College. When you read what Kim has done, and as the people who nominated her said, when they read the description of the award, they all said together, that is Kim Carter. She has almost single-handedly led and collaboratively led, and then now it's an entire group, again, in the library at Conestoga College. Looks like we might have to make a public Collins link, Mario, but just to let you know that, of course, Leadership Award, Colin de la Higuera, who has been significant in so many things, UNESCO work, part of the OEGlobal conference, is really a world leader in terms of being a UNESCO chair and working across the board and inspiration, and also very active in artificial intelligence. We also want to recognize for her leadership, Laura Chernowich from University of Cape Town in South Africa, who has been so effective at promoting research and the perspectives and needs for the great South part of the world, and in bringing social justice. Her work also significantly on being co-editor of Higher Education for Good with Catherine Cronin. In the Educator Award, we're recognizing Maria Luisa Zorilla from the Autonomous University in Morelos, Mexico. The work she has done on their MOOCs there for across Spanish-speaking countries is just hugely significant. And when you read about Maria, you should get a good sense about why she won this award. And then, we put the student at the bottom because it's most exciting to recognize the students. And so excited to share that the Student Award, passing from Yasser last year, goes to Carly Charlton. They are the vice president of the Student Affairs Association at Brock University, and has been key in working with Rajiv Jhangiani and his whole open team in running everything and sort of bringing that whole student perspective into the process. So the awards are out there. Someone has a little bit of a noisy mic. Don't know who it is, but anyhow, all right. I just did all the talking. Anything about individual awards? I mean, I forgot the trophy. Okay, this is key, folks. Okay, so to let you know that the individual awards, I was supposed to show this first, a really special thing that you may not know the story of, but the Fab Lab La Cater at the university, the Open University in Costa Rica, each year, at least for as long as I've been here, their 3D lab has printed these awards that get sent just to the individual award winners. Sorry for everybody else. We can't really send them all, but individual people are really important. And so this year, they're making changes from yellow to blue, but these are such a beautiful thing. And we have some wonderful videos. And again, these have been designed by again, Mario Badia, who does so much of our visual work. But it's such a fabulous thing. We ship these around the world. And so those who were just on our list for individual award winners, these will eventually be on their way to the mail to you wherever you are in the world. And we hope that we can sort of get a picture of you with your trophy. So, folks, tell Alan to shut up and speak about some of these award winners that we have.
If I break the ice, it's about Colin because he's French. I know him maybe better than many others, and I really want to congratulate him very especially because he is, he works also a lot on multilingualism. And as a Francophone, I am and the founder of OEG Francophone. He also helps me a lot in that area. And when he was a candidate and a candidate to have the conference in 21, 22. And it was very interesting also that what he had developed to make sure that we all understand in any language the conference itself. So I just wanted to underline his commitment and the fact that Open Education Global is really global for any languages.
All right. Individual awards. I think it's time. What is it time, Marcela, to do?
Yes, just maybe very briefly about the individual awards, that just seeing through the categories that we can see how many layers and how many people all these open education initiatives need. And it's amazing to see that the support that projects receive from these individuals leading the way through these amazing and wonderful open initiatives. So congratulations to all the individual winners, a big celebration to you, and we will be cheering tonight for your winnings. But I think it's time, Alan, to move forward to the next category.
All right, and I know Martin Weller's out there watching, and he's hopefully happy there with his dogs. We're going to get on to the open assets, which are kind of the things of open education. And so, Mario, do you want to like put the magic gear thing into place so we can get this page activated, so everybody else can see the winners in this year's project? Again, we've got awards in the categories of curation and repositories. We've got winners for open reuse remix. We have a significant OER winner as well. So again, this is often in many ways, the OER category, of course, is one we get a lot of nominations. And this year, we wanted to make sure that in some categories, you're going to see multiple awards because we can do that. But also, it just seemed good to give more awards in categories that got more nominations. How's the machine doing, Mario?
The machine's ready.
The machine is ready. Okay. So let's go to the page and I will reload it and we will see what happens here. And so the winners now in the open curation repository, a hugely collaborative project. It could have won in that, Corey. The 101 creative uses for AI in education and the follow-up volume of AI Literacy 101, led by a huge group from universities in the UK, Canada, and Greece. Chrissy Naranci, I hope you're out there watching. Chrissy was the lead on this, but when you go to the award entry, you'll find so many people that contributed, including students who worked on this from Canada. In open infrastructure, we're very excited to award the Open Music Academy that comes from the University of Music and Theater in Munich, Germany. And so key because music has got to be something because of the rights around it that is hard to share openly. And so this is not only a fabulous collection of resources, it's got like tools to explore music. Much of it is in German, but they're advancing more in English. But because of the design and what has been done as open source in terms of the platform it's built on, Open Music Academy definitely awarded this. And then in the open reuse remix category, if you've not seen the fabulous remixer machine created by Brian Mathers, I don't even know if I can really fully describe it, but it allows you to really explore all the facets of remix by mixing what starts as a template and create little interactive or sometimes just visual representations that you can use in your messaging. And once you see it, you'll recognize Brian's classic style that also comes through in the work of GoGN and so many other projects. And it's just a brilliant piece of remix technology that is generated by humans, I will say right there. In the significant OER, we gave 2. I'm very excited to see the Frontier for Young Minds. I know Laura Henderson is out there. One of the most exciting projects where they pair kids up with leading scientists, award-winning scientists, to explain the scientific research in language that anyone, but especially children, can understand. So huge collaboration, multiple languages, and a brilliant model for collaboration and bringing science to understanding. The other OER comes from a consortium of universities in many places. I think Confident Supervisors was published at James Cook University in Australia, really addressing through a fantastic design the need to help academics who are supervisors of graduate students just be better at that work, because there's so many things that go on in graduate research, and often like people aren't necessarily prepared to be advisors in that regard. So how do those open assets look, everybody? I'll get the awards on the screen. Who here has done a remixer with Brian's?
My laptop looks just like a Brian Mathers art gallery. The stickers on it.
Yeah,
the picture of it on there is a sticker I have. I love it, and I've definitely used it over and over again. Love it. They all look so fantastic.
Yeah, it gets a lot of use through the OER and the alt conferences in the UK. We're using it. Brian has given us a template for a digital postcard, and so we have one now for the next conference in Brisbane. So you can send a digital postcard to her from Brisbane. And yeah, Laura, so well-deserved celebration. Frontiers in Science has been very active in OEGlobal, and so glad that that this project won the award. All right. We have 2 more categories coming up. I will let anybody, like I'm putting people on the spot there. Like,
I can jump in and just say what I specifically love as you were describing the 2 significant impact OER awards. One with the group in Switzerland, Frontiers for Young Minds, is focused on kids, and the other group, on the other hand, Confident Supervisors, is really thinking about graduate students. And I love that these awards allow us to see just the range of how education can transform lives, regardless of whether you are a young child pairing up with a scientist to learn more, or someone further along in your career or in your learning journey. So shout out to both of those specific winners. Congratulations.
yeah, and thank you. And we kind of like, we named it, there were various names for the OER award. We decided to make it significant, which does not always mean to be like big and huge and expansive. It just means something that makes a difference in the world, which, for that matter, goes for almost any OER. And so we hope people think about next year, and we'll talk about what we want to do next year, is don't like dismiss something you have in mind because you say, oh, it's not as big as Frontiers in Science, or it doesn't really like affect, like all OER has an impact. That's what I'd like to think.
I did, as a reviewer, had a look at the 101 creative ideas to use AI in education, and I can confirm very creative ideas. Such a good collection. Was fun to look at them, and can't wait to go back and try some of them.
Yeah, very true. And definitely often Chrissy Naranci has that ability and approach to involving many people in a project and doing it in a creative way. So congratulations, Chrissy. I think we're going to go on to the practices. I need a volunteer. I skipped this part. We need, I'll ask Alexandra. We're going to get, let me get this on screen now. Let me get the page loading. So this again, the Open Practice Awards, like right now, we don't know who they are. So we're going to activate the OEGlobal award machine. And Alexandra, can you press that button on your desk to make it go right now? just press that button. Like, all right, she has activated.
Yes.
Mario is looking at the readouts from the screen to let us know when we can sort of be able to unveil this.
It is working.
The machine, it seems to be faster right now, so I will reload this right away and get rid of the animation so you can actually see it. So the Open Practices Awards for 2024. And the winners are, first of all, in the collaboration category, so good to see that Higher Education for Good got nominated for the people involved in it. And so when you look at the way that project played out that Catherine Cronin and Laura Chernowich led, but the contributions and the modality of how that was done and achieved and starting in kind of pandemic area is just incredible and just such a fantastic example of open collaboration. And equal from the Council of University Librarians in Australia, which include, if I understand right, nearly every library in Australia and New Zealand have this open educational resource collective, which is providing the place and I would think the supports for faculty at all those universities to be able to publish OER. So a fantastic collaborative project. So congrats to all the people at CAW. In open pedagogy, very excited to see the Wiki Challenge from schools, African schools, which is a project with Wiki in Africa and a foundation called now I'm forgetting the name of it, but I have to read my screen on this. But the whole idea is to introduce into schools in Africa acts of writing that's sort of a contest or an awards like this is for students to not just write, but actually to publish their writing within Wikipedia. So they're learning both of those messages. They're making use of platforms like Wikifundy, which has been an award winner in previous past, for providing Wikipedia experiences where internet is not locally available. So again, open pedagogy from top to bottom, and congratulations to the people behind this. In the open research category, one again that was brand new to me from the Tec de Monterrey in Mexico, Call for Science, is really sort of a vehicle and a means for researchers and scientists to have better means to find out how to get published, how to get their work out, because it's so complicated these days, as we know, and even getting a little more complicated with the various artificial intelligent things that are coming out. So that again for the open practices category, another great crop to come in. For me, when they start coming in the nominations, it's like, I never heard about that. I have to learn about this. I never heard about that. And that's really what this effort is supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
A brief comment, sorry, is that I can see a different way to report the practices. I liked a lot the template of this year. So you have a nice narrative when you can read the key points and also the links, which is very interesting. So I had the opportunity to see many of these open practices, and I learned a lot, and I can see a mixture of different categories. So practice using AI, also inclusive, diversity, equity. So it's a combination that highlight these unique aspects of this practice. Well done, everyone.
Excellent. And committee members, when you have to review this, if you click every link, there are many. And so that is good. And invariably, you end up finding even more through that process. But yeah, it's valuable to have all those support materials.
And I know that this award in particular is also about just the behaviors of groups and collectives. And for me, particularly, the Higher Education for Good team has been really influential and impactful. Just reading through that resource is something I've done on a Sunday morning when I've woken up because I'm looking for a little source of inspiration and joy in my life. So thank you to all of the, 118 authors behind that project. Your behaviors have been inspirational and brought me small moments of happiness. So thank you all.
Yeah, saying this award goes to 118 people, that's a heck of a collaboration right there. And I've been supporting the audiobook creation after the fact, and I can confirm that collaborating with Catherine and Laura is amazing. They're the best.
That's fantastic. Can you tell us more about what's happening with the audiobook?
So it's because there's so many authors, it's a real mix of some people choosing like a AI voiceover, AI cloning of their own voice, and that's just a small percentage. Most people are recording their own, but it's pretty neat to mix in different voices because of the format of chapters is very different. Like there's I believe even a graphic novel kind of one, and a lot of dialogue, so you can bring in different voices. It's been fun to work with them on it. And it's almost I don't know when they're going to release it, but it's nearing completion, I think.
It'll be ready for next year's awards,
and then it'll be 119 people.
There you go. But also, like, that you hear it in an author's voice, regardless of how they created it. I think it adds a lot of experience to the interaction with what they've written.
Yeah, it's kind of neat.
Like Kim says, like probably maybe you're going to start a Sunday morning habit for everybody to do some reading and get away from like scrolling through like various places and spend some time with higher education for good. Okay, we're getting ready now. Are we feeling special? Because it is the special awards category. Again, we've got ones to be revealed in diversity, equity, inclusion, enacting SDGs. We have a new one, Open with Artificial Intelligence Award, and a wild card. And so we don't know what will happen there, but I'm going to, we're going to load up the machine, and I will, I've lost my windows. Okay. Excuse me while Alan fumbles around with his screens here. What we're going to do is turn it on, and I will ask Apurva, because she just spoke so eloquently, to I'm sending you through the chat channel the button that will start and finalize this process of loading the awards. And it seems to be working very efficiently, Mario. So we're going to change all those question marks to something else. And
we'll get a drum roll in the chat.
Yeah, drum
Whenever
roll.
you're ready. I'll tap the screen here.
Oh, wait. Are we good, Mario?
We're good.
Man, amazing, Mario. Okay, so we're going to go now to see the winners in the special awards category. So in the diversity, equity, inclusion, so hard to pick a winner here. So important work. But the first one goes to a pair of, they're more than open books. They're entire like resources for equity-minded course design and adding diversity, equity, inclusion to open education. These are two books that are published through the Open Oregon Resources Project that Amy Hoffer so wonderfully leads. And these are both tremendous works that will go far in terms of all kinds of DEI efforts. The second one, have to say, like, a little bit of partiality, because OFAR, Open for Anti-Racism, is a project through our CCC OER. Doesn't preclude nominating, but again, this is, it's been a project going for a couple of years of creating more than just a curriculum and resources for helping educators introduce anti-racism techniques to their teaching, but really help them change their pedagogy. And as the reviewers noted, it's just a fantastic program. It's got all kinds of materials that are available for you. In the Enacting Sustainable Development Goals, a really interesting project from an organization in Qatar, the Education and Emergencies Package. Like we've seen with so many tragedies going on in the world, and in the Ukraine and in Gaza and in other parts of the world where natural disaster hits, these are a really interesting approach to bringing really key resources designed especially for specific languages, but also interactive and things that will help young people as well be able to get an educational experience when they're in these emergency situations. And they're very effective, completely new to me, and I was really excited to explore some of them, and I hope you take some time too. And then, yes, artificial intelligence, it's a thing that's happening, right? And so really, this is a new category because we wanted to sort of highlight the work that open educators were do in addressing the needs to understand and use and also innovate and do better with open education, hopefully through artificial intelligence. So AI and open education for all, which again comes from the Tec de Monterrey in Mexico, is more than a resource. It provides tools and information and things specifically designed for educators to help them sort of go through the process of thinking about and planning for how they might even approach working with AI. The second one, another exciting project from Brian Barrick, who's out there. Brian, I'm going to say hello, who previously had done some really interesting work with the OpenStax American Government course, where he and a student recorded old style, an audio version of that open textbook. Because as we've already noticed in talking about audiobooks, the ability for students, especially where Brian works in LA, to be able to access their learning materials while they're stuck in their car driving. Audio is just such an effective means for helping reach open content. And so seeing many more efforts to bring OER, make it available in audio format, which lends itself to AI. And Brian picked up on this idea and has experimented now, and through his open audiobook has 3 OpenStax titles that are now available in audio. And it's more than just that part. He also has resources for teachers to make use of it, and some sort of templates that you can plug into a Canvas. And so a really tremendous work. And go to openaudio.us and you'll probably see more books appear very soon. Now the special, the wild card. And we had to squeeze 3 in here because they were so good. And so the first goes to the Fab Lab, I'm going to mispronounce it, Catrer, at the UNED in Costa Rica, who not only, yes, they make the trophies for us, but they have a 10-year history of applying 3D printing to almost every discipline you can imagine. An amazing group of collaborations and thinking about open in something that maybe that not a lot of people really always consider. And then look, Terry Greene's Getting Air podcast, where he has these open conversation with educators about their open education, open pedagogy practices. I urge you, if you don't listen to Terry's show, start now. And that will be a little seed to you, Terry, to start getting some new episodes out. Ha, ha, ha. And then so fantastic to uncover this project that comes from Lucy Moore, who I think is out there. Congratulations, Lucy, who is like an expert, like in, if I understand numismatics, like ancient coins, working at York University in the UK, but also very avid in terms of being an advocate for using Wikipedia, Wikidata for advancing knowledge. And so she took on a challenge to be able to create a Wikipedia page for a woman in every country. And so this is still in 2024, a severe shortage. And she did this. And if I understand right, I'd be curious to hear that the last one to get done that was most difficult was for the Vatican City. But you have to go see. Lucy's work here is phenomenal, and she definitely deserves the attention for that project. Woo! What do you think of this batch? We threw a lot in there. We threw a lot on the table.
Amazing group, I would say. It's wonderful to see this beautiful list of winners. And I really appreciate the wildcard, having the opportunity to go a little bit beyond the categories that we have and invite the community to let us know what it is that they want to celebrate. And I also have to say that it's becoming every year more difficult, the job of giving these awards, because the projects are just so amazing. So as you were saying, Alan, learning about many of them, like, oh, I had no idea that was going on in that corner of the world. So to me, that's one of the beauties of this process of the awards. So congratulations to everybody. It's so exciting to be here once again, celebrating the work of our amazing open community.
And for those out there who, go ahead.
So for me, like, I didn't know about the Get in Air podcast that Terry hosts. Just when I just explored, its core principles of discussing openness, it was like, oh, that's a good space in which somebody can just practice their open education movement and speak about it. Because sometimes, when we have to challenge our ideas because of different I would say barriers. So a space that appreciates openness is really great. So that's also something that is worth exploring.
Excellent, thank you, Yasser. And also, like, often, we get focused on the screen-based OER content and thinking about, or the print-based or the textbook model. But audio, again, is just such an effective mechanism. You can actually do it without a lot of sophisticated technology. And so there's lots of ways, and many people who are creating good content in audio, and that's been a real growth over the years.
Just to recognize a podcast in itself as a creative idea, like we always see projects that, yes, have visual contents in them and getting recognized, but the idea that, a podcast that is readily available online is getting recognized, it feels so wonderful to see that, a number of conversations, and we get to mention a lot of examples. Also, I'm now motivated to go and explore the open audio project, because when you see more and more audiobooks that are being made available, it also helps with accessibility, that some people with disabilities might not be able to read with assistive technology. So audio sometimes helps, and sometimes makes it easy for them to just learn and learn in an open way, instead of go to something like not accessible.
And to add on accessibility, if you're doing audio, think about adding transcripts. Very key. And it's much easier now to do than it used to be. Okay, folks who are winners, you'll be getting an email from us as soon as we breathe and put together the messages. You're going to get your certificates, you get a digital badge, and some more information. But also, we really want to hear anything that you have to say that we can use about this. We like to share what we call our stories of impact, because we love hearing what people say about it. I know when I get an email, it's like, oh, they have their word in their email footer, and you see it on web pages. And I've seen some organizations that have their awards from 2016 on their website, and that means something. And then also, we know it's a big process to submit a nomination. You have to write a lot of things. You have to assemble all these materials. And so we're doing some thinking here about, we're still going to do awards, but we would like to have a way for people ongoing to provide continuous, I don't know if it's micro recognition, but just a way to sort of get that recognition out there for all the work that's going on. And so look for some stuff as we try to flesh this idea out.
And a big clap to not only the winners, but the shortlisted, which is very nice, the opportunity, yes, to disseminate more and more practices and special initiatives. Well done, everyone.
Yeah, and that's very. Go ahead.
Congratulations really to all candidates and the awardees, of course. And I have finally translated all the possible prizes and awards into French. So I hope next year there will be more Francophone candidates. And it's really inspiring for me because, maybe you don't know, I am a strong member of the Open Recognition movement. This is a link to open badges. And I am so happy to see prizes like Catalyst. It's new, it's interesting, and there is also badges like Harmony Keeper, and those people are so important in any work, any group. So I really love also the way you have the organization. I mean, Marcela, Alan, Mario, and everyone in the staff and outside the staff have designed these awards. They are really smart, Well done, the staff. Well done to all the one who had to reread the candidates.
Merci, Perrine. And I feel bad because we like listing all the short list, and sometimes I feel bad because like people don't get the awards, but everybody who replies, there's none of that. They're just honored to have that recognition. So we kind of want to list. That's why we chose to list everything that's nominated, because there's many more still left on the table there in the all nominations list to make sure that we get some credit to. And so we're making homework. People are clicking links. Thank everybody who joined us online for this. We'll do this next year. There'll probably be some kind of session, hopefully streamed from the OEGlobal 2024 conference in Brisbane. And hope if I have to do my plug just to say, like, we hope you can be there. Registration's still open. And if not, we're still looking for other ways that you can sort of be part of it if you can't get down under. With that, I want to thank my colleagues here for joining in again. You send out an email and say like, oh, everybody's too busy to do this. And literally, I know Terry and Apurva responded like almost immediately.
Who was faster?
You both been shortlisted.
That's all the recognition I need.
No, a big thank you to everybody, Alan, I think, for the nominators, the nominees, everybody that has been part of the process. Just a big thank you that helped us make this possible. So it's definitely a collective effort. So thank you all for participating.
Merci beaucoup. Et au revoir.
Many thanks. We're going to go out with, again, a little bit of snazzy